Hello, my name is Tim, my company is Sports and Touring, and we are Jaguar F-Type specialists. They say that the devil is in the detail, and if that is so, then this particular P450 all-wheel drive coupe is truly fiendish. It's in a brilliant colour combination of Carpathian Grey or Storm Grey, one of the most enduringly on-trend colours in the F-Type catalogue, with black pack and design pack in Carpathian Grey, and it's sitting on style 5042 or blade wheels, the 5-spoke diamond turned wheels with the carbon fibre insert on each spoke, the most expensive wheel in the F-Type catalogue at the time this car was built. Then when we look inside, we'll see that the specification in there is sumptuous as well. This car has got a ton of optional extras, all of which mean that I'm very excited indeed to show you around. There is the Growler, the badge which has adorned the front of so many Jaguars in the past, and behind which sits so much history, so much experience and expertise, so much success on the racetrack and in grand touring. And all of that experience and history comes together in the F-Type, the final internal combustion Jaguar car, and such a wonderful punctuation mark at the end of that glorious history of production as they look forward to the new electric age. The F-Type looks sensational. It drives brilliantly. It delivers the most engaging driver's experience. And yet it's incredibly easy to live with too. It's got a huge boot. It's very comfortable. You don't feel cramped in the cockpit at all the way you do in some other two-seat sports cars. And picking the various variants, well, the P450 all-wheel drive, plentiful performance, enormously smooth engineering, and this particular example looking so very well. The paint is immaculate. These beautiful blade wheels with the carbon fibre inserts are perfect. Although I should mention, as I always do, that being F-Type specialists, and because Jaguar have made so many different wheels for the F-Type, we do keep a stock of different wheel patterns. And if you wanted this car on different wheels, we can make that happen for you. This is just a beautiful example. It's been well cared for. It drives just brilliantly, and both outside and in, it shines as a particularly excellent example. On which note, let's take a look in the cockpit. We'll supply the car, of course, with 2 remote key fobs and the owner's book pack, and pressing unlock, we can see the door handle pop out, the power fold mirror moves into position, and we can look into this gorgeous cockpit. Starting our inspection perhaps with the door card, finished in ebony leather with ivory contrast stitching. It's all in, I dare say, factory condition. Full memory seats here with lumbar support, and that badge tells us that this F-Type has the Meridian surround sound system, the very top level infotainment package. Panning around, we can see that the scuff plate is in very fine order. The carpet mat, centre console, and these beautiful performance seats with the Jaguar Leaper logo embossed on the headrest, and the lovely lozenge effect over the shoulders there are in fabulous order. No wear on the side bolsters, as you might expect on a less well cared for example. And we can sit down into this F-Type. Of course, it's a post-facelift, final facelift car with the large dashboard screen and the large infotainment screen. And added to that, it's just an environment of science and art. Beautiful design touches around the cockpit, but also very practical indeed. Above us, of course, the enormous panoramic sunroof, which lets light flood in. If that becomes too much, just slide the screen across and the light is blocked. Behind us here, we've got a useful little stowage with a little stowage net there. Then the armrest, under which we find the twin USB sockets, the micro SIM card socket, and a 12-volt supply for charging your electronics as well. Forward from there, the twin cup holders, And then we come to the center console, and to explore this properly we'll start up the supercharged V8 with the stop start button there. Foot on the brake, we'll see the instruments come to life, and then in a moment we'll see the center air vent rise up into position as well as we start. There we are, we settle down to that slightly higher idle to protect the catalytic converters. The centre air vent has come up into its position, and we come back to the centre console. So here we've got the Eco Stop Start Defeat button, then a button to raise the deployable spoiler. It comes up at 70, comes down at 54 in normal driving, but you can put it up with the button as well, particularly important when you come to clean the car, of course. Forward of that, we've got the traction control on-off button and the switched active sports exhaust button, which opens those valves and gives you that throatier sound from the exhaust. I'll just turn the climate down there so we lose the noise of the fan a bit. Electronic parking brake with hill start assist, very easy to use. And then we come to the driving mode selector switch. We're in normal mode at the moment, standard driving mode. We move the switch forward into rain, ice and snow mode. That calms the car down very considerably for driving in slippery conditions, makes it very manageable, although of course it's already all-wheel drive and that is very favourable indeed. Out of rain, ice and snow mode and into dynamic driving mode there. We can see the dashboard tells us dynamic mode confirmed and the backlighting turns red. And in this mode, the car is set up for a sportier style of driving. The steering, the engine map, the gearbox map and the suspension all tightened up to give you a more dynamic experience on the road. Then we come to this beautiful shift stick. Trigger on the front, it falls beautifully to the hand, by the way, and with the trigger pulled we can move back into drive mode and from there sideways into sports gearbox mode. In this mode we can now shift up and down the gearbox using the stick itself there. I always point out I prefer to use the flappy paddles on the steering wheel because then I'm keeping my hand on the steering wheel and keeping the car under complete control at all times. Back over here to the shift stick, and the park mode is selected with the button on the top there, and even if you're in sport shifting mode at the moment, press that button and it takes care of that, puts the car into park gearbox mode and moves the shift stick back into the centre for you. We'll come forward to the climate control area, and here we've got the auto, air conditioning and timed recirculation functions, and then here the front and rear window demist and the electric front windscreen heating. Another extra cost option on this car, which makes life so easy in the winter. It clears the windscreen extremely rapidly if it's misty or icy. Then to the climate control itself, and we have split climate or dual zone climate here, so passenger can dial in their temperature, driver can dial in their temperature here, and we have also both heated and cooled seats, so 3 stages of electric cooling and 3 stages of electric heating on both seats. Enormously comfortable in the extremes of temperature in winter and summer. From there we'll take a look at the infotainment screen, and you can see here the Jaguar display. Now if we connected a telephone we would be able to use either Android Auto or Apple CarPlay to mimic the phone screen on the display here as those particular bits of software do. I'd love that mode, but we don't do it on our videos because it's just too complicated having too many phones connected to things, but you'll see in the photographs of the car that we've got CarPlay active there. But remaining with the Jaguar screen, we've got of course satellite navigation, very easy to use, very fully featured, a lovely big display. It's very clear, and the instructions when you're driving are very clear as well, and the interface, you can have live traffic and so forth if you subscribe to a data feed and so forth. Back to the home screen, and we have of course the media options, FM, AM and DAB radio, and pressing the source button you can see we've also got the availability of Bluetooth audio from the phone, so you can play and stream your favourite music from your phone. Back to the home screen again, and we have, of course, Bluetooth telephony available. We can swipe right, and that takes us to the leftmost of the three home screens here. And here you can populate this screen with your own choice of icons. So, for example, you can have a single button to set the sat-nav up to take you home, or to play your favourite radio station, or whatever it is you want to do. As you get used to the car, you'll configure that to your particular preference. Back through the central home screen, and here we see the right hand of the three screens, which show us that we've got valet mode available on this car, and also dynamic eye. Now, we're in dynamic driving mode at the moment, so we can tap that, and that takes us into the dynamic screen where we can either have factory setup or my setup. And for example, you could have my setup so that you have dynamic engine gear shift and steering, but comfort suspension. That might be appropriate for some circumstances. Also from this screen, we've got the stopwatch with lap timer and the G meter and the pedal position indicator with its graph. Great fun, also quite useful if you go on a racetrack with an instructor to develop your driving skills perhaps. Over to the steering wheel, and we've got the left and right thumb pad. So the left thumb pad is dedicated to the infotainment controls and the Bluetooth telephony button. The right thumb pad, cruise control and active speed limiter, and the button for the heated steering wheel. So we've got the full winter kit on this car: heated seats, heated front windscreen, and heated steering wheel as well. And the heated steering wheel is so lovely and warm and comfy when you're driving in cold conditions. I can't recommend it enthusiastically enough. On the two stalks, left hand side, we've got the automatic headlamps, and over on the right hand side, the rain sensitive wipers. Down to the right here by my knee, and we've got a little panel with the boot release, the lane keep assist, rear fog light, and the instrument binnacle dimmer. And that takes us neatly up to that instrument binnacle, and it's beautiful. It's in the dual dial mode at the moment, so we've got speedo and rev counter separately with the sat nav in the middle. You can configure it however you like. You can, for example, go for a single dial display like so, and that provides you with the single large rev counter in the middle, a speedo, digital speedo in the middle, and then you configure the left and right areas of the screen as you wish. At the moment we've got media on the left and sat nav on the right. Or you can in fact go for a full navigation display, full map display, I'm selecting there, and that enables you to have a very clear and large map display right in front of you. Very useful, particularly useful if you're driving in a busy city. You've got all the things you need to see directly in your eye line there. Again, looking around this cockpit, and everything is in fabulous order. There's no wear, there are no marks, there are no blemishes, no scuffs anywhere. This car has been very carefully looked after. This is a thing when we're selecting the vehicles to bring into stock, we're very fussy indeed about these aspects. And it is always a delight to show how very well kept a particular car which we're offering has been. And this one stands proudly with all of our other F-types at the moment in being in truly sensationally good order. Okay, we'll switch the engine off and take a look in the boot. We'll just take a quick look here at the deployable spoiler in the up position. It articulates upwards on two hinges and provides useful downforce at higher speeds. And then to access the boot, we just operate the button there or on the remote fob and lift the tailgate up, and we can see it's a large space, 310 litres, a very practical space indeed. Yes, if you're filling it to capacity, you need to use soft-sided bags, but you could go away for a lengthy road trip without too much difficulty getting your packing in at all. And also, if you're a golfer or a fisherman or whatever, the space extends out behind the rear wheel arches, so you've got a lot of length from side to side of the car. Put your golf clubs in diagonally, and then you swing them down into the back of the boot space, and you can get two reasonable sized sets of golf clubs in there without difficulty. Also under the boot floor, we've got a handy little stowage here. If you're off to the continent, for example, that's a good place to keep the bits and pieces of safety equipment which are required for continental driving. And again, you can see everything in very good order, no nasty marks, no blemishes, no unpleasant odours of any kind. in the boot on this F-Type. It is all in very fine condition indeed. And we can come round to the passenger side of the car as well and take a look at the door card. Again, this beautiful ebony leather with ivory stitching is in perfect order. The scuff plate is, I dare say, completely untouched. And the dashboard, centre console, carpet and mat, and again this beautiful performance seat with its contrast stitching in perfect condition throughout. This car has been very diligently cared for. We'll move on and take a look under the bonnet. Under the bonnet, and there is the supercharged V8, 5 litres, producing 450 PS, and taking this coupe from 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds, and on to a top speed artificially limited at 177 miles per hour, with the all-wheel drive system delivering power first to the rear wheels and then only as required to the front wheels for the optimum handling experience, matched with the maximum dynamic capability, the maximum use of grip and agility and manoeuvrability and so forth. And you can see here under the bonnet everything is as it should be. The engine bay is in very fine order, crisp and clean and correct. Very good service history on this car from Jaguar main dealers. It has, of course, passed all of our inspections without a hitch. It drives flawlessly, and it is waiting to delight its next keeper. So thank you very much indeed for watching. It's been a huge pleasure to show you this beautiful F-Type. We're Sports and Touring. We're just outside Andover in Hampshire, open 7 days a week by appointment only. You're very welcome to telephone, email or WhatsApp us if you have any questions, or if you'd like to make an appointment to view the car in person or by video call. It'll be a pleasure to send you a link to our Google Drive for the car. That's an online folder with higher resolution photos which you can zoom in on, and PDF copies of important documents. If you've got a car to dispose of on your buying journey, we'll give you frank and honest advice about how to achieve the maximum value with the minimum inconvenience. And if you would like to chat about finance, we can do that as well. We're authorised and regulated by the FCA, and we work with a really brilliant broker. Do please take a few moments to read our reviews in Auto Trader. I'm very proud indeed of the things that our previous customers say about us. And I'll close by saying thank you again. Please feel free to like and subscribe to us here on YouTube, and we will look forward to hearing from you very soon. Contact details coming next.